I'm at Northern Rugby Club ahead of the Durham Northumberland 1 clash with Northern and Consett. Richard, what's your role here at the club at the moment?
I'm the president. I'm the club president at the moment.
And running touch today as well?
I'm running touch, well, waddling touch.
What sort of season have you had generally? I mean, you're near the top of the league, but have you hit expectations?
Well, we're third at the moment. We've lost a couple of games that we thought that we should really have won. But we still could go up. But Consett have had a very, very good season this season. They've played 18, won 18. So we'll see what happens this afternoon. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not counting any chickens, put it that way. Well,
just to get a game of rugby today is going to be a miracle because the weather's coming in and it's all right at the moment as we speak, but it might get a little bit dodgy in an hour's time.
Well, fingers crossed. And it looks like, because we tend to miss this up here. The BBC talk about it. It always seems to happen down south. I mean, whatever it was called last weekend, we didn't really get any of that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll avoid it this afternoon.
I think you're tempting fate there. We'll have to see. I mean, it is going to be difficult this afternoon. How does sort of has Davy got the guys sort of to approach this game? Consett are doing really well. They're top of the league. They're unbeaten. It is going to be a difficult afternoon, isn't it?
Well, now you're asking me questions I can't answer because I don't know what Davy's done. But I would think that the guys would be up for it. They obviously want to win, obviously. And we're missing probably two really good players that were with us at the start of the season. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm also with David Trott. David, you've agreed to talk to me because Tiny was going to do this, and he's now only 6'10.5" or something.
Exactly. He's obviously had an operation, so he's just laid up for a while. So he's in the horizontal position at the moment.
Well, before we talk about this season, I remember almost standing next to you taking photographs when Consett won at Gateshead Fell season before last to get promotion into the league above. Last year was a difficult year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we put so much focus on getting to that level 6 without really having a future plan beyond that. We thought getting there, that was the goal. Then we obviously had a very difficult start last year. We lost Ben Woods, the coach, which really affected our pre-season, and it just came as a huge shock, really, the huge step up in level. Then Johan came on board, got involved, and the boys bought into his philosophy. So we may have lost our first 13, I think, last year, and then we won 8 out of the next 13. So we came to terms with it, and we came down back to DNM1 on a really good sort of footing. We had to rebuild the squad because we lost 5 or 6 players. Some Consett boys travelling to New Zealand and Australia. We lost a couple of Kiwis as well. So we've rebuilt the squad. We had a good second team last year. Boys have come into the first team. Some new recruits as well. Things going really well.
You said you're winning some games towards the end of last season. The learnings were being taken on board immediately, weren't they? And that's got to be a massive thing for this year when you're doing so well.
Oh, hugely so. We had to learn to play without the ball. At level 6, you could be starved of possession for such long periods, which has improved our defence. Our defensive record this year sort of stands testament that we've only conceded 200 points, and that's what we learned. We learned to be patient without the ball, realistically.
Never count chickens, but you're so far ahead in the league, and a win today, I think it's going to be almost impossible for Northern or Middlesbrough to get anywhere near you, really.
Yeah, we don't. We're not looking at that. We take today as a really important game for us. Tough place here. 3 weeks' time, we're away at Middlesbrough as well. Another tough ask. We've still got Stockton to play, so all those teams are still in the mix. But as they say, it's more of us to hit a downward spiral, realistically. It's in our hands, really.
It is in your hands. It has been for quite a while, hasn't it? And I mean, you talked about going up last time without any real prep and just sort of hitting it on the run, but is the mind been focused since Christmas maybe on getting that step back, and are the plans in place to make that transition a bit easier this time maybe?
I think last year was probably the best prep in itself that we could have, so we go with a better open mind this time. So if we can keep the squad together, make some improvements, always on the lookout for guys to come and join us in that respect, and if they want to go at sort of improving themselves or having a go at a higher level of rugby, they're more than welcome. It's not a closed shop, but we believe that this squad we've got now should be better prepared. If we can keep the coaching in place as well, which is a huge thing. The group that we have now are doing really well. They complement each other. We've got 3. Obviously, we've got a strength and conditioning coach.
I don't trust him.
No, rightly so. But we work on fitness all through the year, and generally after Christmas. If you look at our results from Christmas over the last few years, we make sure we're almost pre-season all year through. So our fitness is what we pride ourselves on, and our defence, and that's what I think is the difference realistically at the moment.
So the next challenge is Northern. We're standing at the top of the stairs at McCracken Park in a quiet area away from the bar. I mean, what's your thoughts for today?
Tough game, great opposition. To be fair, big set of forwards. I think it's all going to come down to set piece, discipline, no easy penalties. If we can keep them out of our 22, it's going to be difficult for them to score. But as it's all about the discipline, really. If we cough up some easy offside penalties, as an example, let them kick the corners, they get a driving line out going, it's going to be tough. Hopefully conditions will allow us to move the ball, and if we can move the ball around, we should have the 15 on the field that's good enough to do the job, but it's going to be close.